Hiya, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rosie Henshaw. If you're new here, then welcome. It's lovely to meet you. And if you're already existing, guys, then thank you so much for coming back. Grab yourselves a nice cup of tea and some snacks, and let's get into today's video. Mine's a cup of tea and it's in my Daffodil Emma Bridgewater mug. So today's video is a craft video. I've got a few cheap crafts that we can make to make summer pieces of decor or decorations around your home. And obviously you can use these different ideas through all the seasons, and obviously for occasions, if you've got birthdays or you want to make gifts, anything like that, you can do that. So I'm going to first start off with a beautiful Cath Kidston inspired flower pot. So what you're going to need is some cheap kind of plant pot, terracotta. I've tried to age this one in the garden and it's not gone ridiculously aged. I like to age them so that they go like a bit like this. But that's not happened with that one. So what I'm going to use is a little bit of paint. So just use any paint that you've got. 9 times out of 10 it's better to use colours that you've got in your surrounding areas. I have got this little tester pot that I've got for £1 and it's in the colour blue. So you're just going to need, maybe you already have one of these. If not, you can get these for like 90p in Wilkinson's, like Wilco's. This is where this is originally from. Just any paint you've got at home, and also you're going to need a pretty napkin. I got these napkins, they were 89p for a packet of 20 of them, and it's this blue little rose pattern napkin. It's a really, really simple idea, but I thought it was really cute. So I love having flowers around indoors, you know, at this time of year. Got some sweet williams on the go at the minute, but I love potted plants because they last for all the summer. I just got to water them and they look really, really pretty. So I'm going to start off with opening the tin. That might be a video in itself. I'm going to also, I need something here. I keep hiccuping. I need to put something here. What can I put up here so that you can see? Right, one sec with me, bear with me, guys. Right guys, I've just got an empty box from one of where my dresses come in, so I'll use this so you can see, because if I put it down then you don't see my face. It's probably not a bad thing, but then you can't see the whole thing. So, got our plant pot. I use makeup brushes. I know this sounds really silly, but you can get them really cheaply in the pound shop, places like that. And I just washed them out, and I find that they leave less bristle marks because they're meant to be for foundation. So I've got this lovely colour blue. Oh, what colour blue actually is this? It's called Dix Blue, D-I-X Blue. I think this is the colour that's in Archie and Alfie's bedroom actually. Right. So I'm just going to paint this all. It's probably going to need about 2 coats, so I'll probably speed this little bit of the video up. So, so pretty. And I'm going to slap it on quite thickly, get it done. So now it's drier, all we're going to need is our napkin. I've already cut my little square off my napkin. And all you're going to need to do is just make sure that you take the ply off the back. This can be a little bit tricky to do. Just need to find the little corner and make sure that you've took all the tissue off the back of the tissue paper. Now you can rip this. It's better to rip it because it goes more seamless. It definitely does. But for time, and because my napkin is already blue, I haven't really got to worry about that too much. It's kind of colour matched in a way. So I'm just going to cut around the flowers. Very roughly, not very perfect, but that's what we're doing. And we're just going to get this sort of rough design from our tissue. And the more floral or the more sort of summery you can get it, amazing. Or sunflowers, oh, it would just be beautiful. And these would be really nice as well to get the kids involved to do, and then get them a little packet of seeds and they can make their own little pots with their own little seeds. It'd be really nice. So while it's still just a little bit tacky, I'm just gonna rub this down to blend it in. Now, if you use glue with this, it will go see-through over the top like PVA glue, and it will blend it in. So a lot of people would say to just wait for the pot to dry, whatever you're decoupaging, and then go in with Mod Podge or PVA glue. I don't know why, but for some reason when I do that, it doesn't go as seamless. Now, if you're using a dark background and a light napkin, and it's obviously not advisable, because it seeps through a little tiny bit. If it's almost dry, literally just dry enough to just tack this on, I find that the paint kind of like seeps just a tiny bit at the back, and it darkens the back of the napkin and blends it ever so slightly better. So I just find that works a little bit better. Then what I will do is I'll let this completely dry, because obviously the Mod Podge will just spread the paint over the pattern. Let it completely dry now, which shouldn't take too long. Then go in with your PVA or Mod Podge or your sealant, whatever you're going to use to do this. PVA is perfect. It's not an issue. I always use PVA, it's not a problem. But you can use Mod Podge because, you know, if you've got it and you're a crafter. I'm just using a bit of Millie's because I never, ever buy myself things like this. I just use PVA because I think it's just as good, to be honest with you. But as Millie is going to lend me some, that's not a problem. Oh, I need to, she's got a few little lumps in there. Go over with your Mod Podge, just making sure to get out any of the wrinkles as you go along. And then after, I'm actually using Millie's one. She's got a shiny one, and PVA obviously is shiny as well. So you have got the option, if you do use Mod Podge, to obviously get the matte ones. It doesn't have to be shiny, but PVA glue, you're kind of not given that option. It will always be shiny because PVA glue is shiny. So yeah, if you want to have it matte, then obviously go for a Mod Podge. And then all I'm going to do is just, so that it doesn't stand out as that being shiny and the rest of it not, I'm just going to go over the whole entire pot quickly with a little bit of Mod Podge, and then it will just be shiny all over, and then it's all sealed as well. So I'm going to be having mine in my kitchen on my windowsill, so I just thought, you know, if I splash it from the sink or anything like that, it'll be like waterproof. So guys, the plant pot is dry, near enough, and I've just got some roses that I got for £4 from Tesco's. The reason they were £4, they're only about £1.50, is it because it come in this really lovely, like ribbed sort of glass porcelain pot, which I'll use for other flowers, but I really wanted these pink roses because I feel like they match the pattern of this on the front. But they just look so gorgeous. They just look so pretty, and so cheaply done. And what I really love is as well, it just gives me Cath Kidston vibes. This is a Cath Kidston oven mitt that's just give me the inspiration. So it's going to look really nice in the kitchen, have matching little sets. And you can do this to anything really. You could do pictures, you could do it on jugs, cups, anything you want to do for ornaments. Be really nice. So I thought that was really lovely. Sorry, I've just moved the view slightly just because I need to be near my hot glue gun, plug my hot glue gun in. So the second craft we're going to be doing is using an embroidery hoop. Now they do these in the pound shop. They also do these in places like Home Bargains. You probably can get them on Amazon really cheaply. I'm going to use one I got this for £1.50, and I got this in the charity shop. But they are about £1 in the pound shop, and I know they're about £1 in Home Bargains as well. So I've just got this embroidery hoop, and I thought this was really cute, and I thought this was a really pretty kind of like shabby chic base that we can use to make a wreath. One, because it's quite cute, and if you do have, like, you're into making crafts and stuff, it's nice, it's got that little nod of crafts where it's an embroidery hoop. So all you're going to need is some scrap ribbon. I know the pound shop does some lovely ribbon. I know that Home Bargains, especially at the moment, they've got like a really beautiful craft section in there. But lovely to support your little haberdasheries if you can. I got this from a little haberdashery years ago, and all I'm going to do is tie a little loop onto the top. I don't know if my ribbon will go through. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to undo it a little bit so that I can put my ribbon through the two pieces here, so that you can still see kind of the little bit on the top, because it'll look sweet. Probably put this slightly to the side so I can tuck it through that, and you're still going to see part of the embroidery hoop, because I think that's quite nice to have that on show. And then just screw that up, make it nice and tight. Now you can fill this with lovely floral fabric if you have it, or a stripe pattern if you want to do your embroidery. This would be really nice to add if you are going to be doing a bit of embroidery, to add these bits on as well as. This will be really cute. And then I'm just going to tie these in a little knot like this. I've already cut these previously. I just cut these at an angle to stop them from fraying, and I think they look quite nice anyway. But I've done that when I used another piece of this ribbon, so when I cut it. So we've got something that looks like this. Now all you're going to need is some foliage or some floral bits. You're not going to need like loads of it, because what I'm going to use is, I've got left over some of these from a video I done the other day, some floral bits in my floral planter, and I've got like one hydrangea head that I had couple years back from when I'd done an Easter wreath. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take all these little individual heads off and use them as lovely little pink flowers. You can get these for about £1 in Home Bargains, and you can also get these really cheaply as well in places like the pound shop too. I'm like, oh, Home Bargains, pound shop, everywhere. But I know sometimes you get a little bit confused as to where to get things. Sometimes the best place. I know sometimes I'm always on the hunt to look for where the best, cheapest deals are. So I'll always let you know roughly where I've seen them. So I'm just going to take these off. So you're not going to need more than probably 2 stems, so you can get them really, really cheaply. And what I am going to do is, while we're waiting for my hot glue gun to heat up, I think we're done nearly, I'm going to be using some of these thistles. Now these, because they're still on a longer stem and I don't need to separate these, I think they'll look really nice if I use a little bit of florist wire. So rather than hot gluing it, so I can use my embroidery hoop after, I'm just going to put a little bit of florist wire on this, and then what I'll be doing is I'll be gluing these little flowers onto the actual stems so that I'm not going to be damaging the floral hoop. I know they're only £1, but this is like a little vintage looking one, which is really cute. And then I like to reuse my bits of crafts after. So I'm just going to get a little bit of floral wire off, florist wire. You can cut this with just scissors. And I'm going to shape these out roughly to where I want them. Now I only want the florals kind of on one side, sort of like from round here to sort of here, to balance it out. So I'm just going to place them to see roughly where I like the look of them. I think that one's nice there, roughly. I am going to tease the edges. I'm going to take these leaves off as well. I'm not too keen on these leaves. I think they're a little bit too bright. So I'm just going to tease this round and then add the florist wire. So all of these crafts, you can make these so cheap. I guarantee half of you will have all these little bits indoors anyway. All of these bits come from my craft cupboard. But if you don't, it's not going to cost more than £2-3 per craft. So it's really nice, and these are things that you can hang out in the summer. I do miss my seasonal decors because I decorate for autumn, like pumpkins and stuff, and I also decorate for like Easter and Halloween and Valentine's. I do miss having little bits of decor up, so having a little tiny bit of summer decor up is quite nice. Just going to wrap this round, and we're going to start seeing the shape come together. I want this one here, so now I'm going to incorporate that bit there, that bit there, and then wrap it round. And obviously you can just take this off after. So I'm going to then tie this round. I'm going to make sure we bend you forward. I want you forward. And then I've got another one of these, which I think I'm gonna use the opposite direction, like that kind of way. Or, yeah, like that way. Yet again with some more florist wire. This is actually from the pound shop at Christmas, but they have this all year round. In the little craft section they have near the kids stuff. So I'm just going to tie this on as well. When you get your florist wire, once you know where you're going to put it, give it a little twist as well to make sure that it stays nice and tight. And then just wrap it round. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm also wrapping up the stem that's left over from the other bunch, so that they all are wrapped down nice and securely. And then make sure that I wrap that little bit of the leg down as well. And then I have got, because I do want a tiny little bit of greenery in this, I have got a little bit of eucalyptus left over. I just collect all these little bits and just save them. So hold this up straight, roughly see where we're going to want. I maybe need like 2 of these actually. Don't really think this through. It's fine. It's trial and error. It's always nice to just grab whatever you've got out the cupboard and have a little look to see what works well and what doesn't. I'm going to leave that there, right in the centre, and the reason why is you'll see in a moment, because we are now going to go in with the flowers because the hot glue gun is ready. So I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue to the back. Oh, try not to be too shaky. And I'm going to glue these onto the flowers themselves. You're going to need to hold them down a little bit. Keep getting a bit of a runny nose. I always say this though, every time the season changes from cold to hot, that's when I get poorly, not the other way around. So what I'm going to do is with these little leaves, so I'm going to stagger them to make them into little bunches so they look like they're like full flowers. Even though it's not melted down properly, so it's, you know when you really have to press it hard. So like going in, like so they're bunches of 3 together to make them like little tiny flowers, and I want to build it out this side as well. So there's like anywhere you get, oh, got a bit of hot glue like wires, and then my hair. So anywhere you've got like little bunches where there's bits missing, then obviously build it up. And obviously if you find it easier to glue it onto the actual form, then you can. I just prefer to use it on the florals rather than on the base of it. I'm going to go in on this side now. Stick them down. And you just go around roughly seeing where best to sort of place them. What's come a little bit unstuck. Press it down. You might have to hold it for a little while it's drying. And then once it starts to dry, it's really simple. I think we can need one more here as well. And it starts to really fill in all these gaps, and then it won't look so unusual as we go round. And it'll start to look really, really pretty. Right, as much as I loved having that to the side, it's too lopsided, so I'm gonna have to, because it's heavier, I'm gonna bring some of the weight up this side as well, just to sort of bring it down, but I'm gonna have to move this to the center of the ribbon, because otherwise, as much as I love seeing the little floral hoop on show, the little bolt bit at the top, it's just not gonna hold itself up, it's just gonna start wibbering round. So, I'm gonna make it a little bit heavy towards the top to sort of lean the weight. I don't even know if that's how dynamics work, but we will try our luck with it. It's just going to look really pretty anyway. I'm going to hang this off of my little, what I'll do is at the end of the video, I'll show you them all styled up where I'm going to put them. And I'm going to put this on my little, I've got like a little bookshelf that has like little hooks on the bottom of it in my front living room. So I think it will look really nice and sweet. And do you know what I am going to do now as well? Like I say, it's all trial and error. I actually think these bits of green will look a little bit nice in the background now to add something to it. At first, I weren't too keen on it. So I'm going to put these on the back behind it. So a little bit of this colour would actually be quite nice to break it up. But at first, I wasn't feeling it. So just stick this to the wire that's on the back and let it sit for a minute so it just sticks to the wire. And then I'm also going to put another one sort of this end, so that it stays sort of even. We want it symmetrical, but kind of not at the same time, kind of rustic looking. And it's just to add that tiny little bit of greenery. So we've got that eucalyptus darker green in the middle and then the lighter greens at the end. And it would just add this really pretty look to the wreath. Now, I'm sorry, them stems, I already had those, but they were £2 plus £1. So £3, like with the hoop as well, because they were £2 the stems. So obviously, if you're going to buy this, it's like a £2 wreath, £3 max, depends on where you get your floral from. I suppose you can make this as expensive as you need, but I've deconstructed little hydrangea and I think that's really cute. So we're going to get on to another craft. Now, this is a super quick craft. Now, all you're going to need is a hairdryer or a heat gun if you have one. So I know a lot of people are crafty, they'll have heat guns. You don't need these though, you can just have a hairdryer and that will work wonders also. I'm just going to push my hot glue gun. Ooh, sorry about the sound, it's not very good ASMR, is it? Now, all you need is a cheap pound pillar candle from the pound shop. That's all you're going to need. Now, you may have seen me do this craft before. I've done it for autumn and it's fantastic. I learnt this, I got sent this idea by a lovely lady that I met through YouTube actually. She doesn't have her own YouTube or anything. We just like, she used to comment on the videos and she watches. She's from America, her name's Lizzie, and she's so lovely. And she said that her friend had been making these for years and she finally found out the secret of how to do it and she wanted to show it to me because I love crafts as well. So I can't claim this idea as my own, but now I do know it, I'm just always doing it because it's fantastic, especially at Christmas time and autumn time, because you can get so many lovely napkins with pumpkins on or tractors or Christmas designs. Now, so you're gonna need a pound candle, you're gonna need a pound candle, like £1, or even cheaper, you've probably got candles, let's be real. And you're gonna need napkin. So this is one of the pink ones that I've got out of the set that I had with the blue ones. So 20 for £1 from Home Bargain, no, 89p they were actually. And what you're gonna do is you're going to take all the ply off the back of the tissue, whatever design you've got. Make sure that all you have left is the little design that's on the front, that very, very thin piece. These napkins are just so pretty. I'm only gonna cut off a small section and save the other part for another craft. I've literally got a box. I've got so many crafts in my craft room, but then I've got like a box full of napkins, which is ridiculous. The amount of things I save, people must think I'm a hoarder, but you can always use these and then it becomes free because you've already got it. That's how I see it anyway. So all you're gonna be left with is a tissue. Now you can pick any design you want for this, absolutely any design. And what I will say is go around roughly and just rip. It's better to rip, she said, around the design. So I did do this at autumn and I done it with like a pumpkin style napkin, and you guys went crazy and you loved it because it was just so pretty. It's such a genius idea. And these just look stunning, and you could do these in clusters with different designs. And the thing is as well, I have a lot of old calf kits and napkins that I've had from years ago, that Christmas designs. And I remember they used to do candles and they were really expensive, but then by the time I had my own home and I could kind of have all them sort of candles and stuff, they didn't sell them anymore. So I can always make like little tapered candles and just make them personalised with all these patterns, with the little calf kits and Christmas patterns. So I feel like I've not missed out, and also no one else is going to have the exact same design because you make it yourself. So yeah, ripped it roughly, just round the design, which looks really nice. And all you're going to do is put your heat gun on. So now we're really screwy for the whole way round. So all you're going to need is a little bit of like greaseproof paper. This has been in my craft supplies since I've done the pumpkin ones. But you can just get it really cheap from town shops. Or you could use just like anything that isn't porous, like a greaseproof paper or like a waxy paper, anything that you can just sort of hold on around it. So I'm going to place my napkin roughly where I want the pattern of the flowers on the candle, which is about so, and then I'm just going to rip the excess off because you're not going to need that around the bottom of the candle. And then once you've got it roughly where you want it, just hold your bit of greaseproof paper round super tight, like that. That's all you have to do, give it a little rub. And then with your heat gun, you are just going to put the heat gun onto it, and what you will see is, I'm going to turn it on, but it's very loud, is you will see that it starts to go darker. I'll show you closer up, but this is what it looks like at the moment. Once you put it on, can you see that little darker patch here? That means that the wax has melted and it's absorbing basically. It's the wax is coming through the paper and it's turning it into the candle. So that's slightly darker than that, see there? And it needs to be like that all over. So we're gonna carry on. And it will look a lot darker on the paper. And what we do is we'll just give it a very light rub, just to make sure that it's all stuck down underneath and it'll be a little bit warm. And then we're going to peel off our paper, and it's actually stuck and it's waxy all over the top of it, because what the wax has done is it's gone through the tissue paper and left a layer of wax over the top. You might get a little bit of wax just around the top where you've been melting it, and you will have these fancy designed candles, and they literally cost you the cost of the candle and a little bit of a napkin. So this has been this week's craft video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I really do love doing some crafting, so that would be nice to start doing some more crafting again with you guys. I have explained before why. It just sort of, these are the hardest videos to film, even though they're very simple. I make a lot of mess and it's very hard to set it all up while Albert's napping. But hopefully you've enjoyed this one today that we've managed to fit in. So we've got a lovely little summery candle, a lovely pot, and our lovely little floral wreath that we've got. And obviously this would look gorgeous with fabric in it with a little initial on it as well. So it's endless. You can do so many things to this that you want to do. I'm going to just quickly style them up and show you what I'm doing with them at the end of this video. But this is it, guys, now. So see you later, guys. Take care.